Hello everyone, my name is SuperE123 and today we're going to see how fast can I beat Pokemon Emerald using only a Groudon. After doing the Kyogre run in my last video, I want to see how well Groudon does squaring up to its Hoenn counterpart. Much like its fellow box legendary, it also has an ability that means there will be weather on the field or battle, Groudon being Harsh Sunlight, which powers up fire type moves and weakens water type moves. It also means that moves like Solar Beam, normally a 2-turn move, can be used in 1 turn, which will be great with dealing with all the water types in this game. Groudon is very much a physical attacker in terms of stats and buffing moves like Bulk Up. It also gets a long list of special attacking moves like Fire, Dragon and Grass. It doesn't get many stab moves but does get Earthquake at level 35, a 100 base power move. If we pick up the TMs for Bulk Up and Earthquake on our travels, then we can make use of many different movesets without sacrificing a finite move. Being physically defensive is not ideal in a region like Hoenn where there are many late game trainers that are trained in special moves, even the entire Elite Four. Yep, Dark type moves are special in Gen 3. Whoever made that decision was surely special in some sort of capacity themselves. Here are the rules of the challenge. I can only use Groudon in battle, but can have other Pokemon for the use of HM moves. No items will be used in battle, no glitches or exploits, and also no saving or resetting before boss battles. I didn't do that in my Kyogre run, so I'm not going to do that with this legendary run either. Also, if you do enjoy the video, please remember to like and subscribe. Only 11% of my viewers are actually subscribed, so let's try and get that number up. And you can always unsubscribe if you don't want to see my videos anymore for whatever reason. My goal is to hit 1000 subscribers before the new year, so let's try and hit that as soon as we can, and without further ado, let's get into the challenge. So we start by having to save the Professor from a wild Zigzagoon, despite the fact he has the legendary Pokemon Groudon in his bag that he just left on the floor. Seeing the error of his ways, how he's a terrible trainer, he lets me have it instead. I named Groudon Shades, as you wear shades in the sunlight. The first rival battle wasn't much of an issue, so I went right to Rustboro, only fighting the mandatory trainers on the way. I made extra sure to avoid the bug trainers in Petalburg Woods, as their bug types are a nightmare to take out with only Mudshot. Also the trainer with the Tailo on Route 102, obviously avoid them as ground moves don't hit flying types. I was going to catch a Pokemon as a HM user for later in the run, but I decided against it for now as that would force me into a double battle with the two twins who have Seedot and Lotad, both of which resist Mudshot. I got to Rustboro and despite not feeling too confident, I went to the gym anyway because I'm the cockiest man alive. Our Mudshots are doing just about a third of damage to a Geodude that are almost double my level, and being within that range of course Roxanne is going to be using potions. The first Geodude took me down to 15 HP after we leveled up. The second Geodude came out and it took us into the red and healed up with another potion, but we still managed to take it out. And at only 6 HP we went into our last Pokemon, the Nosepass. It starts off with a Harden and this is looking bad as that will reduce the damage of Mudshot. A tackle takes us to 1 HP but with a critical hit Mudshot, I got through the defense boosts and got the victory in the luckiest way possible. I wasn't expecting the first gym of all things to be a challenge with a legendary, but that was nerve-wracking. I skipped the rival battle and did the Stephen's Letter side quest, making sure to pick up the soft sand from the kids on the Slateport beach. Soft sand is one of those items that raises the power of a certain move by 10%. In this case, ground type moves will get the boost. Before the Team Aqua battles in the museum, I taught Groudon Rock Tomb that we got from Roxanne. Teaching Groudon Rock Tomb is needed to get past the Aqua Grunt with the Zubat. It's either that, grind to level 15 to learn Ancient Power, or waste all of our PP and use Struggle. And I'm trying to do this challenge as lower level and as quickly as I can, so I don't have time for those other options. After doing that, I went to fight the rival and got swept by her Lombre of all things. Yeah, I lost to a Lombre, I'm kinda embarrassed about that. It got some critical hits and Mudshot Rock Tomb was not doing anything to it, giving me the victory, sending me all the way back to Dewford Town. And I thought, you know, while I'm here, I might as well try and face Brawly. I avoided all the trainers and gave it a go, being just 2 levels below the Machop. The Machop didn't stand a chance against Groudon, but did get some good damage in with Seismic Toss. Meditite just tries to use Focus Punch, which doesn't work if it gets hit by an attack that turn. I just used Ancient Power to try and get the boosts, which never came sadly. This made the final fight against Makuhita a lot harder. Mudshot did around half damage, but a Bulk Up raises Makuhita's defense and attack. This means that Mudshot does even less damage as it hits a reversal, taking us to 2 HP. It heals with a Citrus Berry and of course I lost the battle. I wanted to try the rival battle again however, as I didn't feel too confident for the gym. A few levels higher and the Lombre was still a pain, but we're doing a lot more damage this time. Still no ancient power boosts however. Marshtomp comes out next and it's a mixture of Mudshot and Bide to make us lose again. Okay, maybe third time's the charm against the rival. I got a critical hit on Lombre with ancient power which took it out, but sadly, no boosts. Marshtomp came out and I kept trying to use Mudshot since it did more damage than the rock type moves, and I took it out but leaving us only on 19 HP. But despite being on 19 HP, our last Pokemon Slugma, which is easy for Groudon to take out, and we can finally progress with the story. And after that troublesome battle, I need something a bit easier, so we beat up Wally and crushed his dreams before leading into the Watson battle. As you can expect with a ground type legendary, I swept the electric gym. This battle caused me no issues at all, as out of all the moves his team has, only 5 of them can do damage to us. Most of them are weak normal type moves anyway, so they're resisted. We got the badge and moved on, but not before picking up the Muck Bike as I need it for a later section in the game, and I also caught a Poochyena to use Rock Smash. I went on the long trek to Meteor Falls, getting into various stupid double battles on the way. When I did accidentally get into a double battle with something like my Poochyena, I just had them use a move that doesn't affect the opponent or Groudon in any way during the battle. In Poochyena's case, I just spammed Howl as it wouldn't change anything else around it, making this battle as solo as possible. But of course for the Tate and Liza battle I am still going to use Magikarp. Going back to Mount Chimney and facing off against Maxie didn't go exactly to plan. His Mightyena has Intimidate which cuts our attack from the get-go, mixed with a critical hit bite, and I actually lost my first attempt, being sent all the way back to Falaba Town. Second time round and being a single level higher helped make the difference. Mightyena was still troublesome with moves like Sand Attack, but being faster means that we can't be flinched by Bite. Zubat was a one-shot with Ancient Power since it's a Zubat, and Camerupt is weak to ground type moves. But even though we missed our first 2 mud shots, it can't do any damage to us and we save the volcano and head to the Flannery fight. Flannery's gym is a strange one, as the sunlight caused by Groudon will benefit her team greatly. I lost my first and second attempts as Camerupt's overheat does so much more damage in the sunlight. Luckily again, third time was the charm as Numel and Slugma are both one-shots with Mudshot. Camerupt is out next, and fluctuating Gen 3 AI made it use Tackle instead of Overheat, making it a 2-hit KO with Ancient Power and Mudshot. And finally, it's Torkoal. I did just about half with Mudshot as it uses Body Slam rather than Overheat. Luckily we didn't get paralysed, and after missing a Mudshot, we hit another and it was just enough to take it out and win us the badge. I can't lie, I wasn't expecting the Fire Gym to be so troublesome. But speaking of things that caused me trouble, we have to go back and fight Brawly, who I skipped. But on the way there I caught a Marill for HM usage, and got the HM for strength. Now of course at this advanced level Brawly was swept away, and we got the TM for Bulk Up. But I'm not teaching that right now as we learn it in one level naturally anyway. But it's going to be extremely useful for the battle against Norman. I was kind of hoping to go into this battle with Bulk Up already at level 30, but we were just shy of the mark. I wanted Bulk Up because the boosts work so well in the Kyogre run, I wanted to utilise them here. Especially against the Slacking, which has the same base stat total as Groudon and Kyogre. I lost the first attempt because of some really bad confusion hacks, and Vigoroth being an absolute madman. And then I had a second attempt, and after beating Spinder, I learnt Bulk Up. Sadly, a lot more confusion hacks ensued, and Groudon was knocked out. This isn't doing wonders for the in-game time, but say it with me, third time was the charm. I started off with 3 Bulk Up boosts, being hit in confusion 3 times in a row, taking us below half health, before finally knocking out the Spinder. That confusion hacks has put us in a really bad position, but thanks to the boost from Bulk Up we can still knock out the rest of Norman's team in 1 hit each. Even the Slacking, who was a critical hit. Now that's how you win the battle against a giant ape that is for some reason as strong as the box legendaries protecting the region. After proving that we are the superior family member, we get the gym badge and get the HM for Surf, putting Marill to good use and using the shortcut from Route 103 to get to Marville. Proceeding onwards to the Weather Institute, we picked up some leper berries on the way for some PP restoring items, should I need them at the Elite Four. I also got a Tropius. This was my first encounter once my repels wore off, and at a 9% encounter, it's not the most common Pokemon in the shrubbery, but a perfect HM user for this game, so I had to get it. Next steps are quite a few battles with Team Aqua, kicking them out of the Weather Institute and throwing away the cast form since it's not needed. No naming it after adult movie stars this time, it's No Nut November. The rival wasn't much of an issue this time due to a better moveset and level, so it was time to fight Winona. I was a bit apprehensive going into this battle if I should heal up at the Pokemon Center and get more PP for Ancient Power, or if I should just go into the fight. I decided to just go into the fight after using Hyper Potion. On a Swablu I set up 4 bulk ups, putting us at +4 defense and attack, and just used Slash. Slash even worked well on the Skarmory, who resists it. The only Pokemon that caused a bit of trouble was the Altaria, as it survives in the red but was taken out regardless. This gives us the 6th badge, and Groudon also learning Earthquake, which is such a powerful ground type move, it's unreal. 100 base power and 100 accuracy is destructive. Just what you'd expect from an Earthquake really. Now my next location is Lily Cove, not just to be able to fly there easier, but so I can get the Pokeblock case, which is needed to go into the Safari Zone. This is why I had to get the Mug Bike in Marville to access the area with TM22 Solar Beam. I'll definitely need that move for the 8th gym. Solar Beam is a grass type move that is normally 2 turns but turns into a single turn move in the sun, giving us quicker usage of this 120 base power move. Now for the story rubbish that you've seen 100 times before. I got the Magma emblem from Mount Pyre and went to the Magma Cavern where Team Magma have just broken to this Groudon's house. I beat Maxie and cleared the Aqua hideout in Lily Cove and continued on to the high seas, where I was immediately sent back to land as I lost to a trainer with a Gyarados because I didn't heal. Once I finally got onto the seas, I hit land immediately again as I hit Moss Deep ready for the 7th gym, and my god, was this the worst battle I've ever had to do in a challenge run. Of course I got my standard Magikarp with the old rod, and here's how attempt 1 went. So keep in mind I'm currently level 40. It may be a double battle, but Earthquake is useless here since all of her Pokemon are immune to ground type moves. I started with Ancient Power on the Xatu as I know it likes to set up Calm Minds. We didn't get any boosts as Claydol is doing massive damage with Earthquake of its own, prompting me to switch to Solar Beam to see how much I'd do then. Neither were knocked out and tag team Groudon into submission. I kept going into this battle, and due to me not resetting in these legendary runs, I had to go through the entire gym puzzle multiple times. Nothing was working, so I hopped onto the seas and sped my way to Pacific Log Town, fighting a few trainers on the way there and also making it unlockable to fly to, which will be helpful later. After that little detour I got Groudon to level 45, and even then it took me 2 more tries to get a winning run. I'll start off by Solar Beaming the Claydol to the red, which obviously means a Hyper Potion next turn as Xatu hits the Magikarp. Claydol's Earthquake does considerably less damage. I used Ancient Power on Xatu while it set up Calm Mind as Claydol was healed. Xatu was also healed as then I used another Ancient Power just praying for the boosts, which luckily I got, and that is going to be pivotal in this battle. Earthquake is doing even less damage due to our new defense boosts as Xatu is taken out, leading to the Soul Rock. Our +1 special attack boosted Solar Beam is a one-shot on the Claydol, as it is the following Lunatone, as their attacks do nothing to the Groudon, boosted by the power of the Ancients. Soul Rock is Solar Beamed into next week, and after so much effort and time, we finally get the 7th gym badge and get to move on at last. I had to check the in-game time after that battle as well, and by the time it took us to get the 7th badge with Groudon, Kyogre had already beaten the Elite Four. Team Magma's last stand in the Space Center didn't go too well for them, as Earthquake was the best move for a double battle, but it also kept knocking out Steven's team in the process. Sorry about that, mate. I went underwater to beat Team Aqua once and for all and awaken the Kyogre after initially messing up the strength puzzle because I am a brainlet. Awakening Rayquaza was a bit quicker than my Kyogre run due to me being able to fly to Pacific Log, which is really nearby, and actually having something to fly at the top of the Sky Pillar. We get that badass cutscene and it's finally time to face off against the gym I was most scared of, the Water Gym. But with Solar Beam in my arsenal and the power of the sun weakening water type moves, I got a surprising first time victory. A quick rundown of the battle was this, that I used Solar Beam and one-shot the Love Disc, the Whiscash, the Celio, the Groudon, and with its Ace Kingdra it was used in tandem with Earthquake, and that wins us the battle. Wow, I was a bit higher level than I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that gym to go that well. Geez, the second gym gave me more trouble than that. After getting the 8th gym badge, we can use Waterfall outside of battle, so I decided to go to the Meteor Falls to get the TM for Dragon Claw. In hindsight, it wasn't such a good idea since Dragon moves are special based in Gen 3, meaning it won't get the boosts from Bulk Up, but I didn't even end up using it anyway. Victory Road was nothing special at all. Even the Wally battle was a piece of cake, and navigation was a lot easier since I had Flash on Tropius. As I got to the Pokemon League building, I'm at level 51 and at an in-game time of 5 hours 28 minutes. Not as good as Kyogre clearly, but I think that Kyogre was in a league of its own. I retaught Groudon Bulk Up with the TM and used a PP up on Solar Beam and got into the Elite Four. At first I thought we were in a pretty good position to fight the Elite Four, but how wrong I was. Our first battle is with Sydney, and his Mightyena immediately lowers our attack with Intimidate and then uses 2 sand attacks, destroying our accuracy. But 3 bulk ups and a critical hit slash take it out, but the damage is already done. On Groudon I missed 3 slashes in a row as it set up 3 sword stance, but uses Surf, which doesn't go off its now +3 attack stat. Slash isn't a one shot, but he doesn't heal and it's taken out. Cacturne uses Leech Seed as we continue to miss Slash and get taken out by 2 Needle Arms. If I can't get past the first member, I'm obviously in some sort of trouble. Second try went a bit better, 3 bulk ups on Mightyena, but it's still got in the 2 sand attacks and doesn't get taken out, leading to a 4 restore from Sydney, but 2 more slashes take it out. Groudon comes out and I missed Earthquake as it sets up Sword Stance, but I hit the second Earthquake leading to Cacturne, which is taken out by a single slash. Shiftry sets up 2 double teams, and coupled with the sand attacks could be terrible, but somehow we hit the critical hit and Absol comes out last and faints in 2 slashes. It's not so bad when you can actually hit your attacks. Before the next battle with Phoebe, I decided to teach Groudon Aerial Ace, a move that never misses and is physical so it benefits from bulk up boosts. Plus we lost a lot of PP on Slash and we can't even hit Phoebe's ghost types with it anyway since it's a normal type move. Dusclops used Protect first turn as I proceeded to set up 4 bulk ups, but got confused during that time. Dusclops used Protect twice in a row when I was going to attack, meaning we lost more PP on Earthquake than I would have liked, but eventually we did hit it. Dusclops number 2 comes out and I used Aerial Ace on it as it healed with a Citrus Berry, just taking it out of Aerial Ace range, so I used Earthquake. The following Sableye and 2 Bayonet were all one-shots with a +4 Aerial Ace, obviously, as they aren't as bulky as Dusclops, and this moves us on to Glacier, and she had me worried. If our Pokemon use Hail, then the Sunlight is gone, meaning that Water-type moves will go back to their full power, and that Solar Beam will be a 2-turn move. She starts with Celio. I set up 2 bulk ups as Celio did indeed use Hail, which does residual damage all throughout the battle, and it used Ice Ball for a bit of damage that increases each turn like an Ice type rollout. Earthquake did take it out before the damage got too much, leading to her Glalie. 1 Earthquake knocked it out, as it did for the following Celio and her second Glalie, meaning all she is left with is Walrein, who is a bulky boy, but not bulky enough to survive a boosted Earthquake, and much to my surprise, I made it past Glacier with minimal fuss, and got to the final member of the Elite Four. Drake leads with Shelgon, who likes to use Protect, so obviously I'm going to spam Bulk Up. 3 of them to be precise. Okay, I used 4 because Aerial Ace didn't take the Shelgon out. 4 Bulk Ups later and Shelgon was defeated in 1 hit, but because it used Rock Tomb to reduce our speed, Kingdra outsped with a reduced damage Surf. It still did quite a bit of damage, but it can't survive an Earthquake. Altaria hit Dragon Breath and survived an Aerial Ace but got healed. We got in another Aerial Ace as it wasted a turn with Dragon Dance and knocked it out, leading to the Flygon. But in the sun, its Flamethrower is boosted and takes us only to 9 HP. Sadly we can't outspeed thanks to that Shelgon's Rock Tomb and get taken out, but that was an incredibly positive run. But the next good run didn't come until I lost to the Elite Four 2 more times. I got back to Drake at level 59, 5 levels from where I was last time, and set up 4 bulk ups, since I couldn't one-shot the Shelgon with only 2. I knocked out the Shelgon, and Kingdra also fainted to a boosted Aerial Ace, and Altaria survived on 1 HP, but wasn't healed for whatever reason and just used Dragon Dance, meaning it got beaten and we hit level 60. Flygon hit a Flamethrower but was beaten by an Aerial Ace, as Salamence comes out last and survives an initial Aerial Ace after getting in a Flamethrower of its own. It then heals with a Citrus Berry and hits another boosted Flamethrower, but it can't take us out as we get a shot at facing the champion for the first time after taking it out. Can I beat the water trainer Wallace with only a Groudon? Well, I wasn't very confident due to our lack of PP on physical moves, but we still had uses of Solar Beam, which is still positive. Wallace leads with a Wailord, and I'm not messing around as Solar Beam is a one-shot on the giant whale, which surprised me, but I'll take it. Tentacruel is out next, and since it resists Solar Beam, I would have loved to have Earthquake, but I didn't heal the PP of it, so I tried to set up Bulk Ups so that my one Aerial Ace left would take it out. 2 Bulk Ups later, and its Ice Beam is taking us down slowly, and Aerial Ace does not do enough. We survived on 32 HP and have to use Solar Beam as Wallace heals Tentacruel. But what comes next was very unexpected. I hit 2 critical hit Solar Beams to take out the Tentacruel. Yep, 2 crits in a row. And then I got a 3rd successive critical hit Solar Beam on Whiscash. What are the odds of 3 critical hits in a row? Answers in the comments please. Sadly, the critical hit streak does not continue as Milotic takes us back to the beginning. It was a valiant effort, but not enough at this level sadly. Maybe if I actually had PP on my moves, I could have won. I could have used the leper berries that I had, but I wasn't feeling too confident at the time at this level, but looking back, I probably could have done a pretty good job. Oh well, hindsight is 20/20, and it took me so many tries to actually get to the champion again, but I was taken out because of the toxic damage of Tentacruel. I got a bit further this time getting to his Ludicolo, but the poison damage was too much. It took me until level 67 to get another good run, and seeing as we're so high leveled, let's see how it went. Starting with Sydney and his Mighty Yana with the Intimidate from the word go obviously prompts me into 3 Bulk Ups as it uses Sand Attack only once, but I use Aerial Ace as it never misses, so this Sand Attack doesn't even matter, and we hit level 68. I use Solar Beam on Groudon and that's one shot because it's super effective. Cacturne and Shiftry are also weak to Aerial Ace, so they'll be one shots each. That is if Shiftry wasn't annoying and outsped and used Swagger to confuse us. But Swagger also raises our attack by another stage, so that when I do eventually hit it, it's lights out on the Dark Trainer as Absol is an Earthquake away from defeat. Phoebe is second and Bulk Up. Yeah, I used 2 of them and hit 2 Earthquakes on the Dusclopses? 2 Dusclops. Then Aerial Ace takes out the rest of her team in 1 swipe each. I wanted her defeated quickly as on a few occasions, her first Dusclops used Curse, which does a lot of damage over the course of the battle, and made me lose quite a few times. Glacier is third, and I just brute force this battle using a mixture of Solar Beam and Earthquake to absolutely demolish her team, while being at the level of that funny number you will laugh at. Drake is the final member, and Bulk Ups this time? Yeah, I used 5. Yeah, 5. Absolutely massive attack, and of course we're going to one-shot Drake's team. Don't be silly. And hitting level 70 we are in a much better position to face the champion. And maybe this is the time. Well, let's go into the battle and see. Wailord is out first, and I know I can knock this out with Solar Beam as I've done it many times before. Perfect start, but then again I am like 15 levels higher now. Tentacruel poisoned me last time round, so getting revenge with Earthquake was sweeter than all the sugar in the world. Whiscash is 4 times weak to grass, so obviously Solar Beam is used. I'm not that stupid. Milotic is out and it's kind of bulky, but I hit a critical hit Solar Beam, which despite the bulk of Milotic, it cannot stand up against. Ludicolo is part grass type, so Aerial Ace is going to be used, but I can't one-shot it since I'm not behind 7,000 bulk up boosts. I used Giga Drain to try and heal back its HP, but it obviously wasn't enough as Wallace used a full restore. On that healing turn I did use Bulk Up however, and now we're in the Aerial Ace zone, as finally it's Gyarados. Gyarados has Intimidate so that Bulk Up attack boost disappears, but we still do pretty good damage with Aerial Ace, taking it to the red, and of course he's gonna heal, so I used that time to get in another attack boost. It kept setting up Dragon Dances to give me 3 attacking turns and then hits a critical hit Surf. But thanks to the sunlight we are saved and can hit the final Aerial Ace, and at last I have beaten the Elite Four with just a Groudon. At level 70 and with an in-game time of 7 hours 26 minutes. Yup, it took an extra 19 levels and extra 2 hours in the game to get past the Elite Four. Safe to say that Groudon isn't beating Kyogre's time, but what it can beat Kyogre on is attempts to beat Steven, but that's probably due to the level difference. Since Steven has quite a few steel type Pokemon, I decided why not teach Groudon Overheat. Overheat is a really powerful fire type move, 140 base power, but the drawback is it lowers your special attack by 2 stages when used. But since I'm at the end of the game, who really cares? let's just beat the stones out of Steven. Skarmory is why I taught Groudon Overheat, as Earthquake won't do anything since it's a flying type. One Overheat does the job, and next up is Aggron, who I set up 2 bulk ups on. I would have done more, but it hits a solar beam of its own, taking us to half health, and I can't risk any more damage, so I just hit Earthquake and take it out. The following Cradily and Armeldo fell to the same Earthquake based fate as Claydol comes out. I hit a critical hit Aerial Ace on Claydol, taking it to the red, but it used Reflect to raise its defense, meaning Aerial Ace will do less damage. And after being healed by Steven, I was thinking, oh, here we go. I set up another bulk up and hit 3 Aerial Aces before Steven heals again. But that doesn't matter as the Reflect wears off, and now we are back to being the powerhouse of epic proportions, but still only 2-shotting the Claydol. Final Pokemon in Steven's team is Metagross, the absolutely powerful Sula legendary, but it's not a real legendary like Groudon, who shows it who's the boss in the Hoenn region with a single Earthquake, and with a final time of 7 hours, 37 minutes, and at level 71, we have finally beaten Pokemon Emerald with only a Groudon. So let's recap. This was a lot harder than the Kyogre run and probably set me some unrealistic goals to strive for when doing the other legendaries, as Kyogre is extremely self-optimized with moves like Surf and Thunder. Groudon did have a lot of challenges, especially the 7th gym where I can't hit both opponents due to Levitate, and the champion obviously being a hard counter to it. Looking at the chart for the legendaries, and it's obviously not as good as Kyogre, but how will Rayquaza fare? Will it be better or worse than these 2 box legendaries? If you are interested to see how Rayquaza does, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to find out when that video is uploaded. If you did enjoy this video, leave a like and follow me on Twitter at Supery123. I hope you all enjoyed, leave a comment for any future challenges you'd like to see me do, and I will see you all in the next video.